What's up, fight fans? Welcome to Triple THS, powered by Kountermove Fantasy MMA at Kountermove.com. I am the Gil Gunderson of mixed martial arts, Tommy Toehold. Today, I make picks for my UFC 172 Kountermove tournament. Let's do this shit! UFC 172 is gonna be fucking huge, fight fans. Look at this poster. Look at John Jones. He's just realizing he ripped his toe off against Chael. And Glover has that face like someone just shit their pants, but he's trying to be polite even though he's completely disgusted. With a poster this hilarious, you know this card is gonna be fucking awesome. And of course, as is the case with all cards, Kountermove.com is holding some big-ass tournaments. I know what you're thinking right now. Tommy, I don't understand how fantasy MMA works. I'm scared to make picks. Is there a cartoon who can walk me through the process? You're goddamn right there is. First thing you're gonna wanna do is go to Kountermove.com. I use Google Chrome because I'm a hipster, but if you lived through the Nixon administration, you can use Internet Explorer. Listed below professional hot person / badass distance runner Natasha Wicks, you'll notice there are different tournaments with different entry fees and prize pools. My game is $10, prize pool is $5,000, winner takes home $700 and top 67 payout. Let's do this shit indeed. Alright, so fantasy MMA isn't straight picks, fight fans. This isn't Vegas. This is just like every other fantasy sport, which means you need points to win. And points are based on performance. I'm not going to get into complex math here because I didn't complete 3rd grade, but the name of the game is finishes and early. When I make picks for my Kountermove games, I'm looking for fighters who are going to stop someone in the first round. I've got $25,000 for $10 to draft 5 fighters, all worth varying amounts based on how fucking awesome they are. And the first thing I like to do is find some random motherfuckers who cost next to nothing on the prelims, like Patrick Williams and Chris Beal. Both cheap, neither of them have Wikipedia pages, they're perfect. After some research, I found out that Chris Beal is undefeated, but he's only had 2 finishes in his whole career. Fuck that. Patrick Williams has finished 6 of his 7 wins. I've got my first pick. Now next I want to free up some cash for a big favorite who's sure to net me some points. So I'm gonna pick an underdog who has a chance of just fucking somebody's day up. Phil Davis is a huge favorite against super heavyweight Anthony Johnson, but Mr. Wonderful isn't exactly known for finishing fights, so he's not a pick I really want. Rumble, on the other hand, is icing motherfuckers when he's not eating large amounts of Taco Bell, so even though he's a huge underdog, he's cheap, and if he wins, somebody is going to sleep. Now I've got money freed up to grab Luke Rockhold. I love the Barbarian, but Luke Rockhold's only had 2 fights in his entire career that didn't end in the first round. He's a must on this Kountermove game. Next, I'm gonna look for a crafty vet who I think should win their fight. And with the fighters left, maybe not everyone is gonna finish, but the best pick here given the amount of cash I have left is Jim Miller. Most of his career wins are by submission. Yancey is a question mark with only 2 UFC fights. I'm going with Miller. So we're looking pretty good. We got 4 solid picks, and with 5,200 left, there are lots of different options. But as most of you already know, I am a crazy motherfucker. So I usually reserve 1 pick for a fighter who's way out in left field. Somebody that nobody's gonna pick, that way if I'm right, I could win huge. And that is why I'm going with Glover Teixeira. The young champ hasn't fought since Gustafsson took him to church. He's got Phil Davis chirping in his ear, and Glover Teixeira doesn't always win fights, but when he does, he's putting someone to bed in the first round. So Glover Teixeira is my final pick. Now that I've got my team, I click play now and we're done. I can invite some friends if I had any, and come fight night I can watch how my team progresses, along with how my opponents are doing. Scores are calculated by Fight Metric. It's a bunch of fucking fun, fight fans. So get in a tournament, get in Crickland's tournament, make your own tournament with your friends. It makes watching the fights so much more fucking awesome. You know why? Because now I give a shit about Patrick Williams and Chris Beal. A giant shit. And just for this week, if you use the promo code TTHS when making a deposit, you'll get a 25% bonus. So close this video out, go sign up for Kountermove.com. There's a link in the description below. Remember Triple THS, I'm Tommy Toehold. See you fuckers on the leaderboard.